your name. Dana Evans is our engine. Why does she believe in you so much?
You know, Asia, she's always believed in me. When I first got here, my first game in New York, she said she was so happy that I was here. And I was like, thank you. Like, I'm blessed to be here. You know, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm just ready for it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and I'm here to recap Game 1 of the WNBA Finals, in which the Aces won 89-86. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Y'all, what a game that was. And I stated in my finals preview video that every game of this series would come down to the last possession, and that's exactly what happened. The Mercury had an opportunity to tie the game and send it into overtime, but the Aces played really good defense on that final possession, and ultimately they were able to win the game. But y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I thought the Mercury actually outplayed the Aces up until the fourth quarter, because the Mercury were playing at such a high level offensively, and the Aces could not stop them at all. And the Mercury's game plan was very simple. Just let Alyssa Thomas run the pick and roll, and then the decision is hers as to if she wants to get down here, attack the basket, and finish around the rim, or she wants to get down here and look to, kick it out to an open teammate. And the Aces just could not slow it down, y'all. That's why the Mercury were generating so many open shots offensively. And Kalia Copper had a big first half, right? 19 points, 5 threes, y'all. And most of those threes that she made, they were open looks. And there were a couple that were pretty difficult shots. The Aces played great defense, and she still made it because Kalia Copper is one of the best players in the league, y'all. But other than that, I thought the other three threes that she made, they were just wide open looks. And that's because, again, Alyssa Thomas was just getting down in the paint, y'all, and then kicking it out to her, and she was making the shots. And the Aces, I thought their defense was absolutely horrible. They were not communicating, they were not rotating, and that's why, y'all, the Mercury, and up until the fourth quarter, they were shooting 52% from the floor and 50% from three. And we all know that the Mercury, they're not a great three-point shooting team. They love to get inside the paint, they love to finish around the rim, they love to get to the free throw line. That's really what they want to do. They want to play bully ball, they want to really beat you up and play a physical brand of basketball. But last night, y'all, they didn't have to do that because they were just getting so many open threes, and they were capitalizing. It wasn't just Kalia Copper, it was also the Wanda Bonner. Then Sammy Wicker made a couple of threes, and then you had Moa Cole McConney, she also made a couple of threes, y'all. So up until the fourth quarter, the Aces defense was absolutely horrible, y'all, and they couldn't really do anything. Now, they were scoring, right? They were keeping up with the Mercury because into the fourth quarter, the score was 71. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, I should say, the score was 71-67. So it's not like the Aces, they were not scoring. They were playing well offensively, but their defense, y'all, was really holding them back. And I thought that eventually the Mercury was just going to blow the game open because, yeah, the Aces defense was really, really poor, y'all. But then in the fourth quarter, that's when things changed because Becky Hammond, y'all, and this is why she's arguably the best coach in the WNBA. She made an adjustment and she decided, we're not playing great man-to-man defense against the Mercury. Let's implement a zone. And for those that, kept up with the WNBA during the regular season, that when the Aces and Mercury matched up, the Mercury had a lot of problems, y'all, trying to score against the Aces zone defense. And we saw that happen last night. In the fourth quarter, the Aces put the clamps on the Mercury. The Mercury shot 6 of 18 from the floor, including 2 of 12 from 3, y'all. And you got to give credit to the Aces. Their communication was on point in the fourth quarter. They finally were rotating defensively, y'all. And I think that was because of Dana Evans, aka Tasha St. Patrick. Oh my goodness, y'all. Dana was incredible. She was making plays both offensively and defensively. Everyone is talking about what she did offensively, scoring 21 points and making 5 threes. But defensively, y'all, she had 4 steals, and she just pressured the ball. She brought so much intensity to that side of the court, which is what the Aces needed, y'all. They needed Dana Evans to not just, score and not make the threes that she did, but also her defense, bringing that physical presence that they really needed. And Dana's only 5'6", y'all, but she plays much bigger than that. So I love the way she pressured the ball. I love the way she was getting, into Kalia Copper and Moa Cole McConney, just making things, as difficult as she could on them, y'all. So you got to give a lot of credit to Dana Evans. Without her, the Aces don't win that game. Like, seriously, Dana was that important to them, both offensively and defensively, y'all. And for those that watched my finals preview video on yesterday, that I stated in that video that Dana Evans was my X factor for the Aces in this series, because I said that if Dana Evans, had a huge series for the Aces, they were going to win this series, y'all. And after game 1, I stand by that statement, man. If Dana Evans continues to play well offensively and defensively, the Aces are going to win this series, y'all, because let's be honest, the Mercury, they just don't have the players in the backcourt to go up against the Aces backcourt. And Jackie Young had an off game last night. She was 3 of 13. But it was Dana Evans, y'all. And then we also got to show some love to the future Hall of Famer herself, Jewel Lloyd. Jewel Lloyd had 18 points, y'all. And the Aces bench just dominated the Mercury's bench. And also in my finals preview video on yesterday, I gave the bench advantage to the Aces because you got to deal with Dana Evans, Jewel Lloyd, Megan Gustafson, and Sean Parker. Now, for whatever reason, Sean Parker is still not playing, y'all. But Dana Evans and Jewel Lloyd, absolutely amazing. And I thought Jewel Lloyd did a very good job of moving without the basketball. You know, the Mercury, they were so focused on trying to slow down Asia, y'all. But in doing that, they were giving up a lot of free baskets, a lot of easy baskets to the rest of the Aces players, and in particular, Jewel Lloyd. And Jewel Lloyd did a great job of identifying that. She realized that they kept double teaming Asia. So what did Jewel Lloyd do, y'all? She just kept cutting to the basket, getting easy layups. And I would say out of her 18 points, 10 of her points probably came just off passes from Asia for a layup. Like, it was very simple. Now, she did make a couple of threes because, you know, Jewel Lloyd's a great shooter. She's just a great scorer all around. But you cannot make things that easy for a player like Jewel Lloyd, y'all. You got to try to get up in her. You got to try to pressure her. The Mercury did a poor job of doing that last night. But again, give a lot of credit to Jewel Lloyd and Dana Evans, y'all, because they just came in and provided the impact, provided that spark off the bench that the Aces really needed. And I said, man, that again, the Aces, their bench was just going to totally dominate the Mercury's bench. And that's what happened. I mean, the Mercury, their bench, y'all, is really DeWanda Bonner and Sammy Wickham. That's it. And the Aces, they attacked DeWanda Bonner last night. They did. They really attacked her. Because we know, although DeWanda Bonner is still a really good player, obviously she doesn't have the, the speed and the foot quickness that she once had. So they just kept going to her, y'all. Even Dana Evans is 5'6". DeWanda Bonner is 6'4". So there's a huge height difference. But Dana was just attacking her. Jewel Lloyd was attacking her. So that was their game plan. We're just going to keep going to DeWanda Bonner, make her guard, y'all. They did a great job of doing that. But other than that, y'all, I mean, I just thought in that fourth quarter, the Aces just really put the clamps down. And if the Aces want to win this series, they have to play defense. So for the Aces, their defense must improve. And for the Mercury, y'all, I think offensively, when the Aces, play a zone defense against them, they got to have more ball movement. They have to have more ball movement. Because in that fourth quarter, you saw they got away from their game plan. Because, it's really hard to run a pick and roll versus a zone coverage defense. So they had to get away from that. That's what they did the first 3 quarters of the game. Again, like as I stated earlier with Alyssa Thomas. But in the fourth quarter, they didn't really have a plan offensively. So they started trying to play iso ball. And that did not happen, y'all, because the Aces were ready for it. And they were so on point defensively that the Mercury really struggled offensively. So for the Mercury in game 2, if the Aces implement a zone coverage defense, you got to have more ball movement. You cannot play iso basketball. And then for the Aces, y'all, they really just need to fix their man-to-man defense, because their zone defense was phenomenal, but they need to fix their man-to-man defense. Just need to start rotating and communicating better, y'all. But, man, it was a phenomenal game 1. I expect more of the same in game 2. And again, y'all, Dana Evans was the MVP of this game. And just think about how many people criticized her last year. How many people said she shouldn't even be in the league anymore. And she showed up and she showed out. Gary, Indiana is in the building, y'all. And we all know Gary is a very tough place. And you never want to count out somebody that's from Gary. She's only 5'6", y'all, but man, she plays much bigger than that. And she showed up the biggest game of her career on the biggest stage and won the game for the Las Vegas Aces. So Dana Evans, a.k.a. Tasha St. Patrick, job well done, my girl. Keep going in game 2 and beyond. So there you have it, man. This was me recapping game 1 of the WNBA Finals, in which the Aces won 89-86. Man, leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Remember, y'all, laughter's good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.
Hey, money old, I'm on a